Hi guys, this is John from Walton's TV, and this is Meatgistics. A while ago, we showed you guys how we like to make chicken bratwurst. I love chicken brats, and anytime anyone here wants to make them, I always want to be involved. But the last few times we've made them, we found ourselves wondering if there was a way to make them juicier without adding any more fat or dark meat like the thighs from the chicken. I had about 4 pounds of chicken breast sitting in my freezer, didn't know what to do with it, so I decided to see if I could figure out some way to use carrot fiber and extra water to help give the brat some extra juiciness. We're gonna use Excalibur's CheeseBurger Cheddarwurst as our seasoning. We're also gonna add, obviously, the carrot fiber. And then we're gonna add our brand new ghost pepper high temp cheese. I'm gonna go through the 3/16 for my first grind, and then I'm gonna go through a 1/8 plate at least twice. If I need to, I might even do another grind. I'm looking for almost like an emulsification. I'm gonna use our Weston No. 12 Butcher Series grinder to grind it, and I've already cut up all the chicken. With such a small amount of product, I'm not even gonna try and use a meat mixer. I'm gonna do what I tell you guys always not to do. I'm gonna go for protein extraction just with my hands. And then I'm gonna dump in the carrot fiber. And remember, I'm using almost a half a bag here, and each bag is enough to season or bind 25 pounds of meat. So I'm hoping I can use almost 10 ounces of water. That should really give us some nice moisture to the product. All right, now time to add some water. So we'll start with about half of what I had. I think maybe turning it into almost goop, almost emulsifying it when we were grinding it is helping with the protein extraction. Because pretty quickly here, we're starting to bind. I mean, that's better than you would get without any binder with just that much hand mixing. Let's see if it'll pull apart. Yeah, I mean, it's got some stretch to it. We're not quite there yet, but we're close. And we're gonna add a little bit more water. I don't think I'm gonna get to use the entire cup. That's pretty good protein extraction for that little mixing by hand with chicken. So once again, another great reason to add carrot fiber. The stuff is just awesome. It's inexpensive, it's allergen free, and it works great. So next I'm gonna mix in the ghost pepper cheese. Now I'm only using half a pound. That's still probably a lot, but we're gonna give it a shot and see what it tastes like. All right, so everything's all mixed. We've got good protein extraction. We've got our cheese in there. Next thing we're gonna do is the stuffing. Okay, so we're ready to stuff, and I'm gonna use cellulose casings like we did in our hot dog video. The stuffing process is gonna remain mostly the same. It might be a little bit messier because of all the water and carrot fiber in there. I'm using our Walton 7-pound stuffer, and remember, I always use white oil around the top of this canister to help lubricate that piston. That extends the life of the piston, which is really the only major wear part on here, or the only part that will go somewhat often, but it also does make cranking a little bit easier. And I always like to understuff as opposed to overstuff, because if I want, I can twist a link a few extra times and get it tighter, but there really isn't any fix for a blown out casing other than stopping, putting whatever you lost back into the canister and starting again, and that's a pain. I hate that. So a little bit of an understuffed casing isn't a huge deal. You can tighten that up. So I'm gonna go ahead and tie these off individually. I'm just gonna do it manually since I only have a few pounds. I'm not gonna do this with the Walton sausage linker. I'm just gonna go ahead and twist them and tie them by hand with just some butcher's twine. What we're doing is spinning it and just a real basic knot. We don't need anything too fancy, just something simple like a double knot. We just want it to keep its form throughout the smoking process. So we're all done. That took about 5 or 6 minutes, not long at all. Now we're gonna move on to the smoking process, which is gonna be a little bit different. We can't simply cook these. They need to be very carefully stepped up in temperature so we don't end up with a bunch of split casings and a droopy product. Remember, we added extra carrot fiber and extra water to these to try to make them juicier. If we go ahead and cook them at high temperatures, it's just gonna cook that water out and everything we tried to do would be useless. We're gonna start out for an hour at 120 degrees like we do with a lot of things at no smoke. Then we're gonna add smoke and cook them at 130 for a half an hour, then 140 for a half an hour, then 150 for half an hour, and finally we're gonna bump it up to 200 until the temperature is 165. We're gonna use the Grill Eye Bluetooth thermometer to monitor the internal temperature of these brats as we're going. So our skinless chicken brat came out great. They taste phenomenal. The CheeseBurger Cheddarwurst with the ghost pepper came across really good. The ghost pepper has a strong taste, but it's a good flavor with the heat. It's not just heat, there's really good flavor there. It makes really kind of complex mix with the CheeseBurger Cheddarwurst and the chicken. Now, adding the carrot fiber definitely did give us a juicier product. We are gonna look for a couple things to try to make it even more juicy. We're gonna add some sodium phosphate to our next batch, see if we can't get that to bind the water to the meat better. As always, make sure you subscribe to Walton's TV and remember to tap the bell next to the subscribe button to get notified about all new videos. Plus, like and comment on this video and visit waltonsinc.com and meatgistics.com to find everything but the meat. I'm John from Walton's TV, and I'll see you guys next time.
Subscribe to Walton's TV to watch more YouTube videos, or shop at waltonsinc.com to find everything but the meat. You can also watch more videos from Walton's TV by clicking here or clicking here.